Hello everyone. I hope everyone have studied about the previous topic. In the previous topic, we have studied about what are defects, what are the importance of software testing, and what are the various reasons which causes the software failure. We also came to know that what is the role of software developer and software tester. In today's topic, we'll see about principles of testing. So this is the first topic in the textbook. So under this principle of testing, there are some points which will help you all to provide the better quality of softwares, and also it will motivate the testers. So let us see which are the points under these principles of testing. The first principle is the goal of testing is to find the defects before the customers find them out. So let us understand this principle with help of an example. In this example, you can see the car seller is telling to the customer that your car is complete and you just have to paint it. So as a customer, will you take that car? Will you purchase that car? Obviously no. So the customer wants the complete car. If you tell him to paint and take it, he is not going to take it. Because in the same way, similarly, as a tester, you need to find out the defects before the customers find them out. You're not going to tell the customers that use the product, and if the defects arises in that, just tell us. You're not going to tell them to find the error. It's your job to find the defects before the customers find out. Okay, if the customers keeps on finding the defects in your product, it is going to obviously reduce the quality of the product and the confidence in you. So as a tester, your job is to give the complete product to the customer with all the requirements and needs and expectations of the customers. Testing makes sure that the product meets the needs of customer. So from this principle, we understood that a product should meet the customer needs. The customers need not be the external customers. Testers are customer for developers. So this means that the developer should treat the testers as their customers, and they should think that the testers are giving their requirements. So this will also help to find out the requirements of customers, and it will improve the testing also, and it will also improve the interaction between the testers and the developers. So this concept improves the testability of the product and the interaction between the development team and the testing team. Next principle is exhaustive testing is not possible. Program testing can only show the presence of defects, never their absence. Program testing can only prove the absence of bugs, only their presence. So exhaustive testing is nothing but testing it in a very deep manner. So let us understand this principle with help of an example. Consider a program that accepts a 6-character code. See in this 6-character code. This is the first character, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So this is a 6-character code. The first character must be filled with the numbers, and the remaining 5 characters must be filled with the alphanumeric. Alphanumeric means both alphabets as well as numeric it can accept. So how many different combinations you need to test the data or this field? See, the first character can be filled in digits, so that it can be any number from 0 to 9, and the remaining 5 characters must be filled with alphabets or numeric, so it can be any alphabets from A to Z, and it is in a small letters, and that alphabets can be also in a capital letters from A to Z. So how many different combinations you need to test this field? See, there are total 62 ways to test this a single field. So how 62 ways? See, 10 plus 26 plus 26. So this means there are 10 numeric digits for first place, and remaining 5 digits can be filled up with any alphabets from 26 from small letters and 26 from capital letters. And this is only for the first field. And what about the remaining other character fields? So it can be like 10 into 62 raised to 5. So this is for the first position. So it can be the numeric, that is any digit from 0 to 9. And remaining 5 fields must be filled up from 62 raised to 5 ways. So there are uncountable combinations for a single field, and it may take you the years to complete all these different combinations. So it is not possible to completely test these all different combinations. So what you need to do, you need to select only a subset of tests which will uncover the maximum number of errors. And this test is only for the valid input. And what about the invalid input? Okay, for invalid input, again the different combinations will come. Again for that, it may take you the years. So you need to select only the subset of tests which will uncover the maximum number of errors. So from this principle, we understood that it is never possible to do exhaustive testing, but you need to choose your test intelligently and choose such a subset of tests that can uncover the maximum number of errors. In this diagram, you can see at the beginning in requirement phase, the risk and cost are less, but when you proceed phase by phase, step by step, the risk and cost increases. So it is, which is very expensive. So it is very necessary to find out the defects at the early phases. This principle denotes wrong requirement transforms into wrong design, and wrong design transforms into wrong coding, and which is going to be very expensive to the organization. Next principle is understand the reason behind the test. So let us understand this principle with help of a story. The cat and the saint. So once there was a saint meditating, and there was a cat that was prowling around him and which was disturbing his concentration. So he asked his disciples to tie the cat to the pillar whenever he is meditating. So this sequence of events became daily routine. So whenever the saint would sit for the meditation, the disciples would tie the cat to the pillar. And this continued over the years. So from that day onwards, everyone started following that. So if any saint wants to meditate, his disciples would search the cat. Even if there is no cat, they would search it and tie it to the pillar. Unless the cat is tied to the pillar, the saint would not meditate. So there was a thinking that only when we tie a cat to pillar, then only the saint can meditate and concentrate. Actually, there was no reason behind it, but as everyone was following it, so even all started following that. Nobody bothered to find out the reason behind it. So take the example in our society also. See now, if one of your friend takes the admission to commerce side, then you think that your friend has taken the admission to commerce side, so even you will follow him. Actually, even if you don't have interest, you have taken the admission to commerce. So looking at you, even your friend will follow it. Actually, you don't find out the reason behind it, but as the society is following, so everybody starts following it. Same way in the testing, before testing, Find out the reason behind the test. Understand what the outcome will be. Understand the purpose behind each test and what result you want. If you don't know what result you want, what input should be supplied, test may not be appropriate. Now suppose if you are testing whether the A is greater than B, and if you don't know what input should be given to the A and B value, then you cannot find the correct output. Knowing that what you are testing something is as important as knowing what you are testing. This principle denotes that testing requires understanding what you are trying to test, understand what the outcome will be, that is, understand the reason behind it. The next principle is test the test first. So let us understand this principle with help of an story. So there was an audiologist who was testing a patient, and he was telling the patient that I want to test the range within which you can hear. I will ask you from various distances to tell me your name, and you should tell me your name. Please turn back and answer. The patient understood what needs to be done. So this is what the audiologist told to the patient. So doctor asked for patient from 30 feet distance first. What is your name? There was no any reply from the patient. Then the doctor asked from the 20 feet. What is your name? Again there was no reply from the patient. Then the doctor asked from 10 feet. So this time there was a reply from the patient, and the reply was like, for the third time, let me repeat, my name is Nagesh. So who was having the hearing problem? So it was not the patient who was having the hearing problem, it was the audiologist who was having the hearing problem. So the conclusion is a defective test is more dangerous than a defective product. Whichever test you are testing or applying, make sure that those tests are not faulty. While testing, make sure that your test conditions are correct. Compare your known correct results with the expected results produced by the product. For example, take that you are accepting a month for a particular field. The month values should be accepted between 1 to 31. Also trying to test it for the value 32. You are expecting the same result for the value 32. But the 32 is the wrong value, wrong input. So here your test condition is wrong. So because of that, you are going to get the inappropriate result, because itself your test conditions are wrong. So make sure that your test conditions are not faulty. So this principle indicates make sure that the tests are not faulty, document the inputs and expected outputs for a given test, have discussion on it by experts. Yes. Before beginning the test, first document the inputs, exactly which input value you want to test, and also document the expected value. For this particular input, you want so and so expected output. And to clarify the doubts and all, or any confusion, you can also discuss it with the experts. I hope you all understood these 5 principles. The remaining principles we'll see in the next topic.